We're going to try to get through this video quick because with the air conditioner off, it's hotter in here than a 7900X VRM. What is going on, everyone? Today we have got a few news stories to get through concerning AMD. Pretty much in all of these stories, AMD is the main topic of discussion. Starting off with Threadripper and Ryzen 3, we've also got a rumor which has been pseudo-confirmed by video cards about Vega and their naming scheme and all of that. And then last, we've got something about Intel throwing some serious shade AMD's way concerning EPYC and the server space where they're going to be competing with Xeon. But we're going to be starting off with Threadripper and Ryzen 3. Just a few minutes ago, actually, AMD posted a video where they talked about Ryzen 3 and Threadripper, giving us some details that we have not had previously concerning these two CPUs. So we'll start off with Threadripper, where we now have the confirmed code names for, or not, they're not code names anymore, these are the actual names of the two Threadripper processors that we can expect to release sometime in August. We've got the 1920X, which is going to be 12 cores, 24 threads, and it's going to have a base clock of 3.5 gigahertz and a boost clock of 4 gigahertz. And then we've also got the 1950X, which is going to be 16 cores, 32 threads. That's the one everyone's been really excited about. That one has a base clock of 3.4 gigahertz and a boost of 4 gigahertz. So that is just insane, seeing that the scalability of Ryzen is really holding true here, even when they've put it on 16 cores and 32 threads, that they can keep that speed of a boost of 4 gigahertz. And so being able to overclock these, I would expect it to probably be able to get somewhere around there stable on all cores. So to see that with 32 threads, 16 cores, and hopefully overclocking these, maybe being able to get it anywhere from like 3.8 to 4.1, somewhere in that range. If we can get that stable on all cores, that is just going to be a complete game changer in the high-end desktop space, and I can't wait to use one of these in a system and start rendering out videos and really taking advantage of all of that power. And we also got pricing on both of these CPUs. The 1920X, the 12-core variant, is going to be releasing at $799, and then the 1950X with its 16 cores will be $999, which I predicted a couple months ago when we started talking about Threadripper, and it came out. We did a video talking about, how much will Threadripper cost, and I was like, I think the 16 core is going to be $1,000, and we hit it right on the head with that. $999, which is just going to blow Intel out of the water in terms of price to performance. They just can't even touch them in price to performance, not even close. We've also got details on Ryzen 3. There's going to be two 4-core, 4-threaded variants, so these don't have any simultaneous multi-threading on them. They're just 4 cores, 4 threads. The 1200 is going to be 3.1 gigahertz, boosting to 3.4, and the 1300X will be 3.5, boosting to 3.7, and those are going to be releasing on July 27th. We have an actual release date for those two processors from AMD. I didn't see anything firm on pricing for those two particular CPUs, but, given what, Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 is at right now, I would have to assume they're going to be fairly low, probably around $200 or maybe even just a little bit less than that for the cheaper 1200 variant, and I do look forward to testing those as well, and I should have some Ryzen 3 CPUs to test here on the channel at launch, but very excited for both of these, especially Threadripper for me as a content creator. $1,000 for 16 cores, 32 threads. I'll do that all day and twice on Sunday. The next story up is concerning Vega, which had a leak about the naming scheme of them, being that there's going to be 3 versions. We've got the XTX, the XT, and the XL, and according to video cards, they were able to confirm that with their sources, so take that with the obvious grain of salt that you should. And basically what they're saying here is that the XTX version is going to be a water-cooled variant, and that it will just be that, just a water-cooled stock version from AMD. It's going to have the 8 gigabytes of HBM2 that we've talked about in the past in previous rumors, but it will have a higher TDP of 375 watts than the other Vega variants. We've also got the Vega XT, which we can assume will probably have add-in board partner card support. You would hope to have that on those cards, as those cards there. That's going to have a 285 watt, but still the same 8 gigabytes of HBM2 as the XTX. So it really seems like the XT and the XTX are identical as far as the GPU and stream processor and all of that are concerned. It's just going to be, a stock all-in-one cooler from AMD versus a card that's going to have add-in board partner support from Gigabyte, Asus, Sapphire, all those other guys out there. And then lastly, we've got Vega XL with no confirmation on the amount of HBM2, but it does have fewer stream processors, so this is going to be the lower end Vega GPU in the stack. This is only going to have 3,584 versus the 4,096 of the bigger guys out there. And this will be add-in board partner card exclusive, they're saying. So I guess no stock cards or reference cards at all from AMD on the XL GPU. So a lot of people are kind of comparing that to like the Nano, but I don't really see it as that. I don't think this is going to be like a Nano card. It's still got the same high 285 watt TDP of the XT. So we'll just have to wait and see around SIGGRAPH at the end of the month. Not too much longer to go until we get to finally see the full lineup of Vega release with all the specs and details and everything like that confirmed from AMD. Last up, we got a story courtesy of Tech Power Up, who has posted some slides from a recent Intel presser where they have thrown some serious shade AMD's way concerning the EPYC processors and their upcoming Xeon lineup, calling it a glued-together solution because AMD is essentially taking 4 8-core desktop Ryzen CPUs and putting them on to a single die. So they're calling this a glued-together solution, which is really simplifying what AMD has done here, designing these from the ground up for perfect scalability. I mean, you see that with what we were just talking about with Threadripper, where it's got double the cores and threads of the desktop Ryzen CPUs, but they can still hit 4 gigahertz. You don't see that on the Xeon processors. They get cut down considerably. In one of these slides, they actually compared their $2,200 Xeon CPU to the Ryzen 7 1800X, and their Xeon runs at 2.2 gigahertz, and in order to make the matchup seem fair in Intel's eyes, they downclocked the 1800X to 2.2 gigahertz, even those things can readily hit 4 gigahertz without an issue. So Intel is just talking complete shit here, calling this a glued-on solution, oversimplifying what AMD has done with their years of R&D on Zen to be able to make it a scalable platform for the low-end desktop to high-end desktop, all the way to the server space. So I think Intel just really knows they've kind of had their pants pulled down and had their asses smacked a bit. This is the reason they've had to rush out and kind of paper release, or not even release, just paper announce their upcoming CPUs are going to have like 18 cores and all of that. But where are they? Where are they to be found? Absolutely nowhere. You've got the 7900X, which is just toasting people's VRMs everywhere. And yeah, just a rushed launch from Intel on the high-end desktop space. Didn't give motherboard manufacturers anywhere near enough time to be able to get their VRMs and temperatures in line for release. And yeah, now they're just basically like backpedaling and just trying to talk shit wherever they can. Furthermore, they called it a glued-on desktop die. They said that AMD has a poor track record and an inconsistent supplier, and the complete lack of an ecosystem. And in many of these slides, they're comparing their basis of comparison is to use AMD Ryzen's gaming performance at launch, where it wasn't optimized all that well and it required further software optimization. So yeah, Intel is just kind of playing dirty at this point, I think, because they know that they lost, and the only way that they can fight back is to try to talk shit online and in press slides like this, which they know are inevitably going to get put online and talked about by people like me. But I think this is probably going to do them more harm than good because, yeah, just Intel, like, I'm sorry, but you lost. You just did.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
But yeah, I'm going to get on out of here, guys. Please let me know your thoughts, as always, down in the comments below on all of these news stories, especially on Threadripper, and that cost $1,000 for 16 cores, 32 threads is just bananas, bananas, all right? But I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like on the video down below if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're not already. And if you are a long-time viewer, you can consider hitting the notification bell, ding, so you can find out whenever I'm uploading new tech news videos like this one, and reviews and all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ta-ra.